Good morning, my people. What's up? Hope and trust that all is going good today. Getting a little shower in my neck of the woods. Thank the Lord for that rain. Today is Monday, the second day of March, 2026, and the time is 7:32. 7:32. Well, as you can see what my backdrop says, no one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. And that is a quotation there from Buddha. I look at what is going on in Antigua politically, and I smile to myself. Because in my opinion, that's just my opinion, the stupidity of the majority of people in this country is why we are in the position that we are. That's just my opinion. You can agree with it or you cannot agree with it. That's up to you, but that's my opinion. Of course, some people are eating at the trough, get 5 paycheck, they have lucrative contracts, etc., etc. They're eating at the trough, they're belly full financially, I'm referring to. While some people support the establishment, they support the establishment. While other people and their family are eating till they can't eat no more. Them almost a colic. These other people, they're supporting the establishment, right? And they and their family, they can't move, they can't eat. Them broke. Them broke like hell, to use the words of a friend of mine. Then on the other hand, you have some people living from hand to mouth, and scarcely that. While at the same time, they're praying for a miracle. That's why when I saw the quote above my backdrop, I said, no one saves us but ourselves. No one can and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path. We have got to decide for ourselves where we're going. And as I've said all the time, and I do believe it, once persons know the issues and they make a choice, I live with it. It's not for me to make. I make my own choices. People make their own choices because they will have to live with the consequences, and I will have to live with the consequences of my decision. So that's what I live by. Now, if you're in the softball fraternity or you follow it, just for following's sake, you would have heard about a financial report that was presented by an idiot, in my opinion. And I have been saying that this individual is an idiot. I've been saying that for quite a while. But some people hear, some people don't hear. Now, this individual presented a financial report to the fraternity, the softball fraternity, and it raised some questions, right? It raised some questions. And among other things, one of the things that stood out to me that this individual, who's supposed to get caught and who's supposed to bright, well, they say he the brightest among his peers. Well, go be sorry for them peers. Anyway, hear what he said, and this stuck with me. This is one of the many things he said that stuck with me. Talking about receipts, how much receipt anybody ever produce, any team, any executive ever produce for financial statement. What do you think this would be? Grant Thornton? Those are the words of the person that I referred to as an idiot. Now, for those of you who don't know, Grant Thornton is an independent financial network that does auditing. They're the standard, you know what I mean, when it comes to these kind of things. And I gather from the words used by this idiot that what he presented was done without the benefit of receipt. Imagine that, right? And this is what he's presenting to the softball fraternity. And his words, on his words, it would appear as if no receipt was used. So money was shown to have been expended in particular ways without the benefit of receipts. That's his words. If I'm saying something wrong, he can bring the receipts and let us all see. Right? Another thing stood out. Another person said something that stood out to me. Another quote unquote leader in the softball fraternity. When questions started to be asked and that kind of stuff, this is what he had to say. The sudden off, this off, that spin. I saw you go in there. Why you go on laka? Laka what? Try something new. Try something different. Try something no one else have done. And that's the song I you sing. Why you go on in here with? Troops, boy. I just hush I am out and go and play the cricket. March past supposed to be there. Whenever it be. And I just hush I am out and behave yourself. And just go and hush I am out. This to me, if I was some of the persons who I know is in the softball fraternity and they have certain jobs, they have certain professions, I would be so ashamed to hear this from this other idiot, as far as I'm concerned. Right? I saw you go in there. That's what he say. Why go and lock her? Try something new. Try something different. That is what goes on, what is being presented and how it's being presented according to this idiot. This other idiot. That is the norm, that is the standard. And you have people occupying certain professions existing under that. And we wonder why Antigua is the way it is. Yeah? All right. One more. Just one more from another person. I've got plenty, you know. But there's one more from another person. This time, this person here is the manager for a team. The manager for a team. That's this person here. This is what the person said. I'm going to read the report as the manager. I'm going to read the report. But whether I'm going to read the report or not, my position is let the softball go on. Make our enjoy ourselves. Me want something for do a Sunday time. Make our enjoy ourselves. Oh boy. I have to laugh though. I have to laugh. That's the manager. The manager didn't even read the report. Well, up on the time when she made those statements, she didn't read the report. I don't know if she read it since then. I really can't say. But here what she say, whether I read the report or not, my position is let softball go on, make our enjoy ourselves. And we wonder why this place is the way it is. We wonder that. We're just getting a glimpse now. That's just a glimpse into why Antigua is the way it is. And there is a transition between softball and Antigua, yes, because it's the same people who are making decisions or supporting decisions in softball, by and large, is supporting political decisions as an electorate. And we wonder why the country does this. And it can go vice versa too. You can say from the electorate side and bring it into where this cricket, or from what I'm hearing now, or the cricketing association, etc. This is why this country is the way it is. And this is just a sample. There's plenty more that I have. There's plenty more that I have. You know? But I don't count myself among these idiots. Not me. People can say what they want to say. I really don't care. Right? I don't count myself among these idiots. Because if I did, I would be ashamed of myself. And for what little education that I have, if these people here was running me, if these idiots were running me, what would that say of me? Anyway, that is that. The world now knows. Should I say the world now knows? Or the world has been reminded again of the fool that the present is. If persons want to be guided by fools, that's their decision. Not me. No fool around me. No fool around me. Can't happen. I will protest until I die. We'll see how it turns out. Bless up.